throughout social media. We'll get you out here well before the top of the hour. Give you guys enough time to get those bets in for the primetime games, and that's what we do here on the Drive Thru Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. This is Derby Live Free Sports Picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later, and deliver those winners of professional handicappers over at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Play. So let's take a peek at who's on the show with us for today. All right, with us, got Chris Ruffolo with us, got Matt with us, Fargo, also Big Al McMordie. It's Wednesdays with Mitch, Rod Zawacky, Wayne Scott, and Dana will sign in momentarily. Here's how they'll line up for this evening. Ruffolo, Mitch, McMordie, Fargo, Scott, Zawacky, Lane, and then I will close this one out. All right, we've got a handful of games from baseball. We have a 9-game card from the NBA, also 5 on the board on the ice. So let's get this show underway. Let's go ahead and welcome in Chris Ruffolo. You'll catch him over at Pick Dogs. Catch him in the morning here during the weeks, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time with that morning show. Of course, he does have a video series that we'll talk about a little later here on the segment. We'll bring Chris in right now, ready to roll with Chris. Chris, what's happening?
Not much, Tony. Just checking out the rest of the baseball. I'm surprised we didn't have more rainouts today. I was reading everywhere that everything was getting out today. Happy that we were able to get some baseball in, but yeah, I'm ready to talk some hoops tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like that Oriole game is going to go at it here. I thought I saw a start time about right now.
Yeah, it looks like it. That was the one I was talking. That's what I was referencing. I read everywhere. I know it was supposed to be a 1 p.m. start or early start, and kept getting pushed. And now I'm seeing top of the first, so I'm ready for it.
I'm ready for it too. So yeah, we got action here from Major League Baseball. Of course, we had to talk about weather. I thought weather would be worse yesterday, but we were able to get those games in. But tonight we're going to go to the NBA here with Chris, as he'll be looking at this one here between the Magic and Pelicans. We see the Pelicans 4.5, and there are still 4s out there at last check here. We see the total coming in at 207.5.
Yeah, and of course, Tony, I had the one game that got rained out yesterday. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. I'm gonna go with the Pelicans here. You know, I gave out the Magic originally in our video here at Pick Dogs covering this game, but that was because I looked at that game and I saw, you know, the Pelicans are 14-12 as home favorites against the spread, and the Magic were 14-12 as road underdogs, and you know, we're getting the 4.5 points with the best road team in the NBA. But then it hit me. This is the Magic's first road game since March 15th, so this is going to be a bit of a shock to the system now that they have to go back out on the road. And not only that, they're facing a Pelicans team I think is a little bit pissed off. They've been, you know, beat down in back-to-back games. They just gave up 124 to the Phoenix Suns, including 52 to Devin Booker, who went off in that game. And now, you know, they still need these wins to try to avoid falling into the play-in tournament spots in the Western Conference. But not only that, the New Orleans Pelicans are actually the best team in the NBA against the spread after a loss, 19-9-1 against the spread after a loss this season. I think they bounce back at home. I love the Orlando Magic. I like, you know, the money they've made us this season, but they're not going to cover every single game, and I think we're getting some value here. So I think we're going to take the New Orleans Pelicans on the road in this one.
All right, Chris says go ahead and take the Pelicans here in this one. Lay the 4. 4 is where you can find 4.5, but really do your line shopping, get the best numbers. We still can see you still can find 4s out there in the betting market. Of course, both teams strong defensively, but you know, Chris, obviously this Pelicans team has taken a bit of a hit offensively without Ingram in the lineup. Right, it's always that big 3 in there with the Pelicans. Also, a bench player in Alvarado has been missing as well for a few games.
Yeah, Ingram is a hit for sure, but we've started to see that, you know, well, for me at least, the knock on New Orleans was always that, well, once this team stays healthy, they could really be a team that you have to watch out for, because they were always banged up, whether it was Ingram, Williamson, whoever. But Zion's been able to stay healthy for the most part, and we've seen when Ingram's been down, Williamson stepped up and shouldered the load and been able to you know, will his way and will his team to victory. And I think that's what he does here. I don't see the size inside to be able to stop Zion from getting whatever he wants in the paint. I think he's going to play some bully ball here, and I think while the Orlando Magic have a clean injury report, and it's a dangerous thing to think about. Again, we've seen that the Orlando Magic struggle to take the step up in spots at home as of late. They lost to the Clippers, the Warriors, the Kings, failing to cover in all 3 of those games. And it's a spot as well. The Pelicans trying to get revenge after a 121-106 loss in Orlando back on March 21st. So I think the Pelicans get the revenge here. I think they bounce back.
All right, Chris here on the Pelicans. in this spot. Lay the 4 against the Magic. This game tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern time. All right, Chris, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs for tonight's action. Of course, on the board tonight, we have a few on the board from MLB, also 9-game card from the NBA, some on the ice as well. Great results to start Major League Baseball. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Well, I still have one an NBA play of the day to go off today. Also got one MLB play left on the board. I think I might just throw that up as an individual play if anyone's interested in baseball. You can see that we're off to quite the start in MLB. I think it's still sitting number 2 on the MLB leaderboard, so I hope to keep that going. We hit our MLB play of the day today. Gonna have both of those for $25 over at Pick Dogs with the best value, hopping on a long-term pass. Like you said, we got after a great MLB start. Still got NBA and NHL in their playoff pushes. Still got some college hoops left to be played. I also just put up my MLB season pass as well. So definitely lots of options for you at Pick Dogs Premium. You just got to go over and check them out.
That's right, guys. Got aboard with Chris Ruffolo over at Pick Dogs Premium. Your long-term passes are your best value. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout, and you'll save that 15% off. All right, Chris, as always, great having your show. Have yourself a great evening. We'll catch up with you next week. But let everybody know we can catch your work on with your video series. Run the link from the NHL. Individual pick videos as well, and of course the morning live show.
Yeah, tons of content, Tony. Whether, like you said, it's the live shows, whether it's the daily videos or the wraparound covering the NHL. We're starting to wind down, but that just means the playoff action is going to start heating up. So this is where you definitely want to have those notifications turned on to get the notification when we drop all the newest and freshest content here at Pick Dogs. The home run prop videos out as well. Had a great start with those. So yeah, tons of content, but we do it for everybody. So yeah, I'm loving what I'm doing here at Pick Dogs.
That's right, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, set those notifications so when Chris goes live in the live shows, you're live with everybody, and of course get those video series from Chris. All right, Chris, have a great night. We'll catch up with you again next week.
Sounds good, Tony. Take care.
It's Chris Ruffolo here on the Drive-Thru. I will continue here on the show, guys. One of the newest features here on the Drive-Thru is the chat pick of the day. We give you this game because this is a game that we're not covering on the show today. So the chat pick of the day today is the Cavaliers at Suns. If you like the Cavaliers plus the 5.5, type A in the box in the chat. If you like the Suns, minus 5.5, type B. Over 227, type C. Under 227, type D. So it's your chat. It's your pick. It's a chat pick of the game. You own it. And go ahead and put those picks into the chat. All right, let's continue here on the Drive-Thru. Up next is Mitch. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium, also part of that morning show. Mitch, what's happening?
Not much, Tony. Actually, I sat down on the couch and fell asleep about 2 hours ago and just woke up about 10 minutes ago. So feeling good.
All right, there you get that extra rest. We all need it. All right, here we go tonight.
By that time, I've already put in a 12-hour day, so it's, once in a while it happens.
Well, this game might put you back to sleep here. Rockies and Cubs going head-to-head here with the Rockies here laying 202. The total sits at 7.
I just love the Rockies in this game. Everyone knows I love fading me some Chicago Cubs, and Chicago Cubs at these type of prices. Oh, man, it's just absolutely silly that they would be giving away this kind of prices. I know the Rockies are not a good road team, but they don't lose them all on the road. And, at a certain point, the Cubs become ridiculously overvalued, which is most of the time. Tony and I used to do a podcast together, and we used to add up, how much money you would win just betting against the Chicago Cubs every single game. And that's how overrated they are. They're one of the most public teams in all of sports. And in baseball, sport where the good teams lose 60-plus times a game, you got to pencil the Chicago Cubs in for 75-plus losses this season. They have no pitching staff to speak of whatsoever, and that rings true with today's starter, Little. This guy is a reliever, man. He's a bullpen guy, and you're talking about miserable conditions at Wrigley Field tonight, so should be a pretty tough conditions all the way around. Quantrill is not a good pitcher either for the Rockies. We know that, and the Rockies are never a team known for having, star power at pitching. But one thing that Quantrill does extremely well is not give up home runs. I mean, he gives up. You look at, at pitchers and how many home runs they've given up over the seasons. Quantrill is a guy that gives up 15 or less every single season, and most of the time it's way less than that. So I think with those type of conditions, it's going to be tough for the ball to get out of the infield here for the Cubs. And, of course, being the Chicago Cubs and sucking because of that fact alone, I expect them to suck something fierce here. I'm going to take the Rockies. I'd even lay the reverse run line.
All right, Mitch, here on the Rockies here. plus 164 here against the Cubs, plus 183 at Sharpest Book. Some of these lines are moving, guys. Make sure you have multiple outs, get the best of them. Look at the difference in line here, 20 cents between a U.S. book and some other books out there. So you guys better do that line shopping. I don't, some people across the country, they don't understand what it's like being in Chicago in April. I know some ex-Dodgers talk about it, like Garvey, and say that players had to go through the miserable April and May there in Chicago.
Yeah, I lived in Chicago for quite some time. A lot of those shows that Tony and I used to do when I lived in Chicago, and it's a little different than most cities out there. Chicago is a great city, at least outside of Wrigley Field, and it's cold. It snowed there this morning, and it's one of those cities that it struggles because you can't, dome Wrigley Field, right? Though I wouldn't be surprised if they did and called it something, they were doing something, to this historical landmark. But that's how the Cubs fans and of course the money grubbing Northsiders kind of pull it off. But we all know that the people that are at these Cubs games are not actual fans of the Cubs or even fans of baseball. They're just tourists there stocking up photos for their Instagram page. So it's just a little bit of a different story there at Wrigley. And I think that what we'll see tonight is probably the Rockies just tee off on them, at Wrigley. And the weather, I think, in Colorado, I believe that was the place where Miggy hit the home run. No, I think it was in Detroit where he hit the home run. He thought it was a double. He slid into second base. But, it's too early in the season to be playing baseball. It's too early in the year. Baseball should be starting a month from now, and it should be ending at Labor Day. There's too many games. You don't need to have interleague play. You don't need to have all these games out, equal weighted schedules and all these different things. Baseball, I think they got a lot of things right last year, but I think March baseball in Chicago and Detroit and Minnesota, places where they don't have dome stadiums and it's freezing, in Colorado, where they're still skiing, the ski slopes are still packed for spring break. This is just not a good idea. I mean, I'm not a meteorologist and I'm not a baseball commissioner, but I could figure this one out.
Yeah, no doubt. Mitch, you're on the rock. Look at some of the games today. Of course, Royals have now pushed one across. Mitch, this is the game that should have started 5 hours ago, but they're going to get it in here. Top of the first, Royals up 1-0, got the win yesterday.
Yeah, the Royals already all over Corbin Burns in the early going. Corbin Burns, you always have to be, and they got runners on second and third and threatening here with 2 outs. But the thing is that, you always have to be leery of guys who are on top of the rotation or close to it. Tyler Glasnow's, Corbin Burns types who get traded. How much do they actually have left in the tank? The Brewers have done a masterful job with starting pitching for a mid-market team over the years. And, here they are trading him for basically, a bunch of minor leaguers, DJ Hall, DL Hall, and company. So, you have to figure that Burns is suspect. I've lost a lot of money on Corbin Burns over the year, and I've lost faith in him quite some time ago. So, he did get the third out here, but I like the Royals in this one. I gave it out on the morning show.
All right, Rangers here with the win here, 4-1, getting plus money again. Looks like I have plus money in every game of the series.
Yeah, and plus money every game of the series when they played them last year in the playoffs. The Rangers continue to be a value team, and in that American League Central, or American League West, which is going to be a tough division. I think we're just going to continue to get value on the Rangers, and we're just going to have to continue to pound them. I'm telling you, the odds makers and a lot of people jumping on these big, heavy money line favorites, and even laying odds with the run line with some of these big favorites. It's a great way to lose a lot of money over time because it doesn't take much to lose all your winnings, and it doesn't take much to have the dog and to turn that into profits. You bet the dogs in baseball, it doesn't take much, and they come in not all the time, but man, they come in way more than you think.
Raves were
we've gone over this. Teams like the Cubs at minus 185 basically means they have to win 111, 112 games this season. It's like that's not going to happen. They're not going to win 72 games.
The Rays won a lot of money at that home park, but do you see some decline in this Rays team since the past few seasons?
Not really. I just see a little bit of transition. Remember last year they had the 20-game winning streak. They had all those other things going on last season. The Rays aren't a team that's going to overpower everybody. They're going to win all of the winnable games. They're going to go on the road. They're going to make a mess in other people's ballparks, and just continue to win on. While other teams are going through highs and lows, the Rays are steady Eddie, and that's what they're going to be. But it's like you're playing the frickin' world champion Texas Rangers, who, I mean, let's be realistic, and Jay Briggs might go over the top about it, on the morning show, and he's such a homer, that it's tough to even believe, the things that he says, but it is true. I mean, they didn't just win those games against people in the postseason. They beat the crap out of them. So, I mean, look what you're up against, and how is Nathan Eovaldi, of all people, an underdog?
Yeah.
It's like when he's their number one of their rotation, and it's like he's not their true number one. That would be Jacob deGrom, but he's been a number one for quite some time for them. So it's like it was their number one in the World Series. You can beat the Rays in the playoffs. You sure as heck can beat them in a regular season game. I think the game yesterday was the chance to make the money on the Rays against the Rangers, but I think there'll be plenty of chances to make money on the Rays this season. But there's going to be more chances to make money on the Rangers if they continue to give us these odds. Even those home games against the Cubs, they were minus 120.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah, it seemed kind of strange there. All right, Angels, again, just look at the coup they're playing here. Off to a pretty good start for the Angels here, pounding the Marlins 10-2. With Sandoval on the hill.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the Angels or if it's the Marlins, but anyway, slice it, man. This was a one ugly game, and it got that way in a hurry. The Marlins, I think, have a team that looked so great. Their pitching staff a year ago, staff looks just so bad now with guys like Puck and Ryan Weathers slated to start tomorrow.
Oh my goodness!
The Cardinals their first road game of the season. They're going to St. Louis playing the Cardinals. They're starting Ryan Weathers for the second time this season. It's like, what's going on here,
Yeah,
what is Ryan Weathers doing on a major league roster?
That's what I said. I think, on the Saturday show. What's he doing? What the hell's he doing on a roster? Makes no sense. Twins, boy,
it's not fair to the people paying money for tickets.
No,
it's not fair.
Not at all. Twins got to put up a big number here against the Brewers, 7-3.
Yeah, the Brewers were leading for a good portion of that game. Joe Ross was pitching, and they were moving right along. We hadn't seen Joe Ross in a while, and and he hung in there. I thought he pitched really well, in that game. Like I said, I fell asleep. So
the bullpen that got to him, because
it had to have been, because Joe Ross was cruising. He was. Joe Ross, 3.2 innings, 2 hits, 5 walks. That's Joe Ross there. 5 walks and 3.2. Yes, that's the Joe Ross we know and love. But 2 hits, 3 strikeouts, and no runs. And then the bullpen just imploding there for the Brewers.
Yeah, that had
Twins,
happened.
it's tough to repeat in that American League Central.
Yeah, now that you got McKenzie and Bieber healthy for Cleveland, we'll see how that rolls down the line. A lot of rainouts here. Reds, oh boy, good thing you didn't see this ninth inning, boy. Hanley Jensen wanted to put the A's back in. 2 walks, had to get through trouble, even an error there, but the Red Sox held on to win 1-0. Here's a stat for you, Mitch. When the A's play teams with a good bullpen, the ERA of 3.4 or less, they are now 3-32.
Well, that's just the way that the A's roll, and this is why my guess is that when they get to Vegas, we're not even going to recognize this team.
No. Oh, yeah, they're just stockpiling picks for their move to Vegas. Game that's exciting here. D-backs up 4-2 in the 10th, and then an error, and then the Yankees were up 4-2 in the 10th, and then an error, and then some clutch hitting, and the D-backs tied the game. We're now in the 11th, 4-4.
Well, Diamondbacks have been clutch hitters, the last 2 seasons. The Yankees once again in scoring position.
They got a runner over on a balk. It looks like it was a balk, or it may have been a balk. So it's now 5-4. They pushed one across right now. So 5-4 now is we should see this move in a second here. Top of the 11th. Was it a balk? Looks like to me like it was a balk. Pitcher at the stretch, or was it a time clock situation, or what was it? It was somewhat of a balk. Magoo on the mound here for Diamondbacks. Push it across. So right now 5-4. Yankees have just taken the lead. It might have been a balk. It was. I think the batter was pointing at the pitcher for something. So It was hard for me to tell, but it looked to me like it was a balk that pushed it across. And then we get to the Reds and Phillies about to get underway. All right, Mitch, let everybody know what's happening over at Pick Dogs Sports Chat Place as we transition here to baseball into the spring.
Yeah, we just have a lot going on, in front of the camera, and we have a lot going on behind the camera, a lot going on behind the scenes, a lot going on in front. Of course, you guys know we have the best handicappers, the best picks each and every day. Of course, we have the best live shows, the best videos. We're the most watched sports betting channel on all of YouTube. We have some new partnerships that we're ready to put into full steam, doing more stuff with Tony and his team as well. And, of course, we have some other things going on in relation with our sports betting syndicate stuff that Tony really learned a little bit more about what we do there at Bet Bash and some of the guys that are involved in that. So we'll have a lot more news for you. If you have credit bookie accounts, then you have at least a $2,000 credit limit with them. I'm not talking like DraftKings app and stuff like that. But if you have credit accounts, we're going to help bail you out, or we're not going to pay your debt to your book, but if you have a credit line, we certainly can help you beat them using the same betting exactly right along with our betting syndicates. So we're excited to offer this. It's not free. It's more of a rev share model that we do, and the rev share is based upon different factors. But if you have that, just email me, Mitch@pickdogs.com, but it doesn't matter. We have all sorts of videos explaining it and showing you the letters where we were thrown out of sports books. We don't want to mention any names specifically, like that MGM. Throughout an entire Pick Dogs family. Bullshit.
All right, Mitch, Yankees push across another one to go up 6-4 here in the 11th. We'll see if they can hold. We'll see if they can hold it now, like they couldn't hold it in the 10th. Aaron Judge with a double there. So 6-4 Yankees, top of the 11th, one out, runner in scoring position. All right, Mitch, have yourself a great evening, and we'll catch up with you again next week.
Make it a winning day. We appreciate everybody. Tony, thanks for the great job you're doing for all the cappers who come on the drive-thru every day.
Thank you, Mitch, here on the drive-thru. Let's continue on here. Up next, we'll bring in Big McMordie, catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. I was checking him out on Twitter, showcasing those Purdue tickets, but now he's wearing Michigan today. All right, Big Al, what's going on? You're on mute there, Big Al.
Sorry.
Maybe you should have been on mute.
Yeah.
Maybe you should have been on mute.
Maybe I shouldn't have photographed the Purdue tickets also.
Oh my goodness, Big Al. Yeah, Gal, you don't jinx it. I don't know. I know you don't believe in that jinx nonsense because it's not in the database, right? Right. Yep. Yeah. All right.
They're still a long shot. So.
Yeah, they got. Well, yeah, they've got some teams in front of them to get through. Of course, UConn is the one. Of course, we know Big Al is not a hedger. Don't even bring
not
that
a
up.
hedger.
Don't even bring that up. Don't even ask him. Don't even mention that because he's not going to do it. All right. Wow. Look at this money line here. Raptors and Timberwolves going head to head here. We see the Timberwolves here 16.5. We saw Atlanta hit about a 10-1 shot not too long ago. In total sits 214.
Yeah, look, that was crazy. I think the Celtics lost back-to-back games as 13 and 16-point favorites or something. No, obviously, Toronto's in the tank, no doubt. They want to finish with the sixth worst record, so they would then have a 45% chance based on the lottery odds of retaining their number one pick, which would otherwise go to San Antonio if the pick is number 7 or worse. But this is still a lot of points to give any NBA team, even one which is in the tank. And the T-Wolves, they've been such an unreliable home favorite. Generally, they're 24 and 39 and 1 ATS their last 64. So it doesn't really bother me that Toronto's in the tank. I just don't trust Minnesota as a favorite. And as a huge home favorite, Minnesota's 10 and 20 ATS its last 30 when laying more than 11 points. Meanwhile, Toronto 26 and 11 ATS when getting 13 or more points. This is way too high. I see some 17s out there now at Bookmaker, and I'll take the points.
Yeah, Big Al says give him the points here in this one. This 16.5, even 17. Do your line shopping, get the best number here against the Raptors team, and that's what happens, right? I think that the bookmakers now realize that this is the time of the season where teams it's not their best interest to win, but now we're just going to make these point spreads, huge. We saw Washington cover yesterday, right? They were a big one. Of course, we saw the Lakers win, so it's going to take some handicapping here, especially with these monster crazy numbers now that we're seeing with these tanking teams.
Yeah, you have to pick your spots, obviously, but at some point the number just gets too high. I mean, there's no incentive, for the Lakers or, Milwaukee or any of these teams. I mean, they're favored by 13, 15, 17 points. They just want to win the game, And yes, the Lakers did win by 17 yesterday, but they didn't have to win by 17. Just
Well, we saw a 30-point lead get cut down to 17 in the last couple of minutes, right?
I mean, it's just, and Minnesota's not good enough to be laying 17 to anyone. It's my opinion.
Yeah, their offense, and they kind of play that slow defensive style, so you may not even have enough possessions. the way they play, the way they slow it down a little bit with their D here, and of course you're going to need their reserves to cover that number, because the starters, if it's a big lead, you will not see the starters. And that's what we saw yesterday with the Lakers. I mentioned that because it was a 32-point lead with about 6 minutes remaining, and it got eerily close to not covering for the Lakers, right? So,
right.
Buyer beware with these. Raptors plus 16.5 plus 17 against the T-Wolves tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern time. All right, Big Al, let's take a look over at Pick Dog Premium for tonight's action. Of course, NBA on the board tonight, 9 games for you on the ice. Some baseball, about a handful of baseball as well. Heading to a big weekend. We combine college basketball and NBA with Big Al, 6,166 units of profit. It's been a monster year on the hoops for Big Al. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, also having a nice hockey season. Very few plays, 21-14 on the year, up about 5.5 net games. I've got my NHL non-division game of the month day in hockey, Tony. I've got one play in the NBA. I've already posted one play for the NIT for tomorrow's championship game. I've posted one play for the NCAA Final Four for Saturday. So a lot happening. I won't have any baseball probably for another 2 weeks. Going to wait for a few more starts by the pitchers, but I'll be in action soon enough in baseball.
That's right, guys. Get on board with Big Al McMordie over at Pick Dog Stream. You see the great results in the hoops here, 6,160 units of profit. Also great profit numbers here in NHL. So no better time to get that 1 month all sports pass for Big Al. Get all the premium plays for that 1 month. I'll include much of the first round NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs in there as well. We'll get some baseball in there in that 30-day pass, and as well, we're going to get into May. You know what happens in May, Big Al, right? Got the Derby, spring football.
I still haven't. I know Mitch texted me about fierceness. Still haven't gotten to watch that race. I think he won by 13.5 lengths. So I'll need to watch that on YouTube. I've been so busy with basketball. Haven't even been thinking about horse racing.
Yeah, we have. I think it's Santa Anita Derby's next week, right? I mean, there's still a lot's going on here with the Triple Crown. But 1 month pass, and of course, Big Al, you got that all access for those big bettors.
Yeah, folks want to get involved with the all access. It's not for everybody. It's for the big players. If you can bet 1,000 to 10,000 a game. Also, if you don't mind the high volume during the I guess the high volume's over because college basketball is over. But if you think about year round, we often have a lot of plays in college football and college basketball. It can be 10 to 20 plays on a Saturday. And if you can get down 1,000 to 10,000 a game, you get all the plays. They're rated 10 down through 1, so 10 being the highest. And then you get additional plays as well. For example, today there was an additional NBA play which went to the all access folks that the premium folks didn't get. Just text Big Al to 775-636-7676. That's 775-636-7676.
All right, make that text and get on board with Big Al McMordie, all access. It's within your bankroll. All right, Big Al, have a great night. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
Thanks, Tony. Talk to you on Thursday.
Big Al McMordie here on the drive-thru. Let's go over this chat pick of the day. Cavaliers and Suns. If you like the Cavs, it's plus 5.5 in the chat. Suns minus 5.5 is B. C for over 227, D under 227. So get those chat picks in here now, guys. Well, this is the chat pick of the day. This is your pick. So let's get on board here with these. So far, it looks like, let's see, we got an under, we got a total. Real close right now in the chat pick of the day. We're seeing both the sides tied here, very close on the totals. So keep these chat picks of the days coming in, guys. We just got another A in there. So right now we got a 1 pick lead on the Cavaliers plus 5.5, the chat pick of the day. All right, let's continue here on the drive-through. Up next, it's Matt Fargo. You catch him over at Pick.com. Some NBA coverage here from Matt. We'll bring him in here right now. We'll take a look at this one between the Hawks. Let's see if we're going right now. Matt, what's happening? Yeah, Matt, you're on mute there. I'm still on mute there. Still got your. Wait for Matt here to get off mute. We'll be looking at this Pistons and Hawks game. Yep, still have no sound from mute. Maybe if you sign out, sign back in. That might solve it. So he's gonna go ahead and sign out. While he's doing that, let me track the picks here on the chat pick of the day. We're getting some more coming in right now. We're seeing so far we're getting some support here on Cleveland right now. 3 on the Cleveland side. We have one here. Actually, more coming in right now. Wow, we're getting more here on Cleveland here. We've got another over here. So right now, 5 on the Cleveland side, 1 here on the side here for the Suns here at plus 5.5. Let me see if Matt is. Well, Matt is working to get himself back, logging back in again, but I still see him in here signing in. So hopefully we'll get him back in a second here. All right, he just signed out. Chat pick of the day, 6 right now. And we got another one in here for Cleveland. So chat pick of the day, Cleveland right up 6 right now, 6-1 right now in the chat pick of the day. 1 only on the Suns. So we'll continue here on the drive. So let's see if we've got Matt back in yet. Matt, what's happening?
Hey, am I back?
You're back. Matt is back. All right.
Well, thank you. Sorry about that.
No worries. All right, here we go. Pistons and Hawks. Hawks 11.5. We see a total here, 224.5. Make sure you get centered there in the screen. We're moving half your face there. Just move a little to your right there. There we go.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at the Hawks tonight. They've been playing pretty well. They've won 5 of 6, and this is basically for the playing chance right now. The magic number is 1. If they win tonight, they're in, or if the Nets lose, they're in for the play-in game. Which who knows how far they're going to be able to go? It's a guaranteed road game against either Philly or Miami, most likely, maybe Indiana. But it's something that they weren't expecting midway through the season. They've been playing well. Trae Young's been out for 19 games, and they've gone 11-8 in his absence. So they've been playing pretty well. As far as Detroit, they're ready for the season to end. They had a 13-point lead against Memphis the other night and ended up losing by 2 at home. And now 6 of the next 7 games are on the road. So I think they're a fade the rest of the way. And it's a big number for Atlanta, but they've actually won 7 of 8 this year when laid 8 or more points. So I think it's a good spot for them to get the win and clinch their playoff spot tonight.
All right, we got Matt here on the Hawks here, laying the points here against the Detroit Pistons. Something we've seen here with this Hawks team is they've become a lot more efficient on both ends of the court. Something that I didn't expect, right? Without Trae Young, they went through some lulls, but it seems here over their past 5 games, they're probably reserved to the fact, hey, we're going to be in this play-in round, so we might as well get ourselves let's try to look halfway respectable here, and we're starting to see some pretty good efficiency from this team.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, as good as Trae Young is, they're not efficient with him on the floor. They really never have been. And not saying they're not better without him, but at the same time, it's like, you're right, but offensively, they are more efficient without him on the floor right now. And when it comes to a superstar like that that's missing, the other players, they step up, and they've done that during this recent run, which has been pretty good, since he's been out. And, taking nothing away from his ability, but even on the defensive end, he's not a good defensive player. He can take a game over for sure and win a game for this team, no doubt about it. But, looking back with him not in there, I don't know. They have been playing better for sure.
Yeah, and of course with the Pistons, it's just been the offense has just tanked here. And of course we don't know if Cunningham is going in and playing, and it's a team that has just gone, hit. They were a cover for people, and I remember that right around probably about the midway point of the season, heading into the All-Star break. They were covering these big numbers at a time.
Yeah, they were. I want to say 10-8 over 18 games, something like that. So yeah, they've been competitive, no doubt about it. But when the numbers are this big, they've struggled of late, getting 8 or more points. They're 3-7 against the number. So, when they're expected to lose big, they have been losing big. And with Cunningham he's questionable, probably not going to play. Isaiah Stewart's been out; he's out for the year. So, it's a depleted roster, and they're just, like I said before, they're just ready for the season to end.
All right, we got Matt here on the Hawks laying the 12 against the Pistons. 11.5. Do your line shopping, guys. These are live lines to get the best numbers. You can find 11.5 in some of the U.S. books right now.
Yep.
So get that number tonight here, 7:30 Eastern time. All right, Matt. Let's take a look over at Pick Dog for tonight's action. Of course, Matt showing good results over the past 30 days. All sports there. You see the numbers here on the board tonight. Some few from baseball and 9 from the NBA. We got about 5 on the ice. What do you have going over at Pick Dog's Premium?
Tonight I have 3 NBA games going, 30 and 14 NBA run. I have the non-conference game of the month tonight going as well. So those are 3 separate plays going. NIT game, championship game for tomorrow already posted, and I'll be having both Final Four games posted very shortly as well. So get a long-term pass and let's end the hoop season right and head into the NBA playoffs.
That's right, guys. Got with Matt Fargo over at Pick Dogs. Premium. See great results over the past 30 days. No better time now to get that 1-month pass. Get all of Matt's premium plays for 30 days, include if he's in action with the NIT final. Of course, we got the Final Four. We got the championship game. Baseball for 30 days. We get NBA. We get the 30 days. We get you into the first round of the playoffs. That'll take it to May 2nd, right? So we might even get 2 rounds of the playoffs in there when we get into May, right? Yeah, so it moves here. We're already into April, guys. So no better time than now to get on board. Yep, it's moving quickly. And, of course, remember the promo code PICK at checkout. You'll save that 15% off. Don't forget the Stanley Cup playoffs coming up. And there's discussion now, Matt, that we may see 20 teams in the postseason. They're going to try and copy the NBA with the play-in round. You don't like it at all, do you?
It's too much. Come on. It's like expanding the NCAA tournament. Like you want to see Missouri and Vanderbilt in? Really? Come on. Like it's too much. It's just too much.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
And go back to the NCAA tournament. Like, a team like Indiana State would love to see them in. Absolutely. I don't want to see Vanderbilt in there. I don't know. It's too much.
Yeah.
Every league is expanding now. It's revenue. More money, more games, more money.
More money and a little more security for coaches, because the more we get extra teams in, the coaches have a little more security if they get in. But
right.
that's what I think. For some point, the standard will be making the Sweet 16 at some point. That might be the standard now. All right, Matt, have a great night. We'll catch up with you again next week.
Thanks, Tony. Have a good one.
Yeah, Matt Fargo here on the drive through. We'll continue here on the show, guys. Remember, get those chat pick of the days in there. Suns and Cavs. A for the Cavs, B for the Suns, C for the over, D for the under. All right, let's continue on. Up next, let's bring him in. Wayne Scott, you'll catch him over at Pick Dog Stream. We'll bring Wayne in right now. Wayne, what's happening?
What's going on, Tony T? What's going on, Pick Dog family? Hope y'all doing good out there today.
Things going well. All right, here we go. Lakers playing this, backwards Wizards team. When they're supposed to win early in the season, they lose. When they're supposed to lose, they win. So that's the ass backwards team of the NBA this year, the Wizards. We got the Lakers 13.5 on the road, total 236.
Yeah, told you guys to take the Wizards yesterday with the 13, but just like that, I'm right on the other side. Wizards, as Tony said, shocked the world with the outright win. I did not expect that, but I did expect them to fight tough. This game here, though, they did battle tough in that game. Milwaukee tried to dig back. The Wizards did all they can, and they ended up getting that win. Missing bigs in this game. That's what one of the main reasons I love the Lakers here. No Bagley, no Holmes. Tyus Jones been out. Poole's very turnover prone, very streaky. Wizards, one of the worst defensive teams in the league, or the worst defensive team in the league. One thing we can bank on with the Wizards is they score, but with guys missing, they're 4th worst scoring team in the 3 games, just struggling to score. So not only are you playing bad defense, you're struggling to score. Lakers have been playing very well, 7-3 straight up in their last 10, 6-4, also covering. Lakers got a lot to play for. Ninth seed, they don't want to slip. Both of these teams are coming off the back-to-back, but Lakers have been handling business against teams below 500. They smoked Atlanta, smoked Memphis, smoked Brooklyn, and also smoked Toronto last night. The starters did not play high minutes, so I just feel like they come out here and they get it done again. They smoked the Wizards. Lakers have been playing strong defense as of recently, and we know they can score. I think the starters come out here, they handle this, use their size advantage, and come out here and smack the Wizards on the road.
All right, I got Wayne here on the road here, taking the Lakers here, later 12.5, 13. Let's see what the lines are right now. There's 13s everywhere. There's a 12.5 out there, one place here offshore. but mostly 13. So it's got to get the 13 in there. All right, let's do a rundown here with Wayne in the NBA like we do many times here. This was the first game here on the board. So we go Trailblazers, Hornets. Two teams going nowhere, but someone's got to get a W here. Hornets 1, total 212.5.
Yeah, man, and I like the Trailblazers as a dog here. We've been saying this all year. When you got two of these bad teams, look at the underdog's way. Hornets coach quit on them with 8 games left, and it makes sense with the way they've been playing. Hey, I want to quit on them as well. Trailblazers been showing a little fight here. Just a price game. If you're going to bet this bad game, you might as well go for the underdog. Trailblazers, good defensive team, have more of the reliable players playing in this game, with the Hornets benching to me more of their better players in this game. I like the Trailblazers in the spot.
Trailblazers in the spot here. Thunder, Celtics. This is an injury game here, as you can tell by the line here. Thunder on a back-to-back. No Shea, no Jalen for OKC. Only no one important out for Boston. I know it's a bad way to say it, but I couldn't think of another word here. We got Celtics laying 11.5, total 229.
Yeah, man, Thunder without their guys, they started the first half pretty good against Philly. And B announced he was going to play out of nowhere. He came in, he got it done. That was a tough game for the Thunder. Now they're on the road taking on one of the best teams in the league. Celtics not missing nobody. I'm not going to fade them here. I believe this number's this high. They're kind of trying to scare you on to the Thunder. It's not going to work for me. I'm going to lay the points with the Celtics here. We've seen them blow out good teams at home all season, and I think they do it here, getting ready for playoff mode. They don't put their foot off the gas. They thunder through the Thunder in this game.
Thunder do it. He says we'll have coverage in this game a little later. We had coverage in this game already. We had coverage in this game as well. And this one we haven't here. Bucks looking for a bounce back 12 against the Grizzlies, 218 total.
Yes, sir. Bucks on this back-to-back after facing a difficult loss. And I think they do get the win. But another spot where I think they don't cover. I think we have value on the Grizzlies. Jay Jackson will be playing. They do have enough guys in here. Good, strong defensive team. Yeah, they struggle offensively some nights, but that doesn't worry me playing a team like the Bucks who just don't play defense on a nightly basis. I'm going to take the boatload of points and take the Grizzlies in the spot.
Yeah, no Beverly, no Galloway, no Lillard, no Middleton for the Bucks. So lots missing there on the Bucks side. We got Magic Pelicans covered for you already. Cavaliers and Sun, our chat pick of the game here. I know Wayne had an eye on this one. Suns laying 5.5, total 227.
Yeah, man, I like the Suns here, man. I just think they're playing a better basketball. 6-4 straight up and 6-4 against the spread, while Cleveland 4-6 straight up and 3-7 against the spread. Cleveland also hasn't been playing well on the road, just 3-7 in their last 10 on the road and 1-4 in their last 5 on the road. Cleveland's defense has been struggling as of late. That's one thing we used to bank on with Cleveland. We know they've been hot offensively from 3, but they haven't been doing that well. Booker went off for 52 last game against New Orleans. When this guy gets going, that's just a hard team to stop because you got to double him. And then you're leaving shooters and Durant open. I like the Suns here, man. I think they get it done at home and cover the spread.
All right, he's bucking heads with the chat. Chat had it 9-2 on the Cleveland side, but Wayne bucking the chat here, liking the Suns tonight. All right, I agree with you with that defense there for Cleveland. All right, we'll continue here on our rundown, joined by Wayne. Next game here, we'll take a look at if we have a next game. We don't have a next game because that's the game. That's the late game tonight was Cavaliers and Suns. So we got them all in for you. We will have coverage. Let's see what we're coming up with here later in the show. We are going to have coverage here on the Nets game, right? Nets and Pacers coverage a little later on that game. All right, Wayne, let's take a look over at Pick Dog for nice action. NBA on the board with this 9-game card. Still a handful of baseball left to go. Action on the ice as well. 5 games. We see Wayne showing good profit in baseball. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, still got 3 NBA plays left. I have a 3-pack out for you guys. I had 3 plays in MLB. Went 2-1 in MLB. So you guys did or NBA bettors, you can hop on the NBA bets that I'm on tonight by grabbing that 3-pack. No best bet. Just like all three of those games equally the same. For all my plays, to get these plays early, the best way to go is always long-term, 3-day, 7-day, or 30-day. You pair me up with one of these dope handicappers that you see on the show, and continue to put this cash in your pocket, man.
That's right, guys. You got both. Wayne Scott over at Pick Dog Cream. Great results in baseball, so get on board with those long-term passes. Pick is our promo code. Save that 15% off. All right, Wayne, as always, great having your show. Have yourself a great evening. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow, but let everybody know we got that boxing video series as we're getting closer and closer and closer to that Tyson fight.
Yes, sir. They just announced too. Tyson made a video saying that it's not an official boxing match. It's going to be a sanction, but it's still going to be. It's still basically abiding by boxing rules, although the boxing people are not sanctioned in this fight. Pretty much, they don't want nothing to do with it. If anybody gets hurt, if anybody dies from a punch, but they're going all off of boxing rules still. So it's still boxing fight, but it's not going to go officially as a win-loss for Tyson or win-loss on the other side. So I thought that was interesting right there. But plenty of fights, and I'll be ready to drop them for you guys. Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney is another mega fight that'll be coming. Stay tuned on the channel, and I have that broken down for you guys.
All right, guys, make sure to like, subscribe, set those notifications so when Wayne drops those boxing videos and those picks, you get them in real time. All right, Wayne, have a great night. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
All right, appreciate you for having me, Tony T. You have a good Wednesday. Good luck on all your bets tonight. Let's cash on the books.
Indeed. All right, Wayne Scott here on Drive. It looks like the Yankees held on for that one-run lead as Diamondbacks pushed one across in the 11th. Chat pick of the day. It's been a big Cavaliers run here. We got 9 on the Cavs, 2 on the Suns. If it's Cavs, it's A. B is the Suns. 2 and 2 on the over/under. So keep these votes coming in. Let's continue here on the drive-thru. Rod Zawacky. Let's see, we bring him in today, ready to roll here. Hope we don't have him on freeze like yesterday. And boy, you guys in the chat room were really giving it to Rod yesterday in that frozen state. They said, Rod, you were mad yesterday.
Yeah, I totally thought I was mad, right? I was mad. I was mad that the internet was frozen.
Yes.
Not mad that at anything else. Holy.
Yeah, Rod was mad.
I just happened to freeze in the mad frozen state yesterday.
Yes, he was in the frozen state. Zeros. You know how cold it gets over in Medicine Hat. It gets really cold up there.
The weather changes. Next, it's plus 20. A couple days ago, and now it's going to be minus 4 coming up. It might get 30 centimeters of snow. So that's what happens in my neck of the woods. Yep. The weather changes that fast. Yep,
it does change. All right, here we go tonight. Canucks and Coyotes going head-to-head here. Canucks road favorites, $1.36, total of 6.
Yeah, you look at this one. Canucks big road favorites in this one, the second half of a back-to-back. Canucks 4-4 in the back-to-back spot this season. Who's going to get the start? Well, it's going to be Arturs Silva's going to get the start for the Canucks in this one. And he did get a win in his first NHL start of the season with the Canucks against the Ducks a couple nights ago. But you look at that one. He made 20 saves and 22 shots. And this Coyotes team is 5-5 in their last 10 and playing some pretty good hockey when you look at things. They've won 3 of their last 5 hockey games, and they've been scoring goals. Sure, they've been giving up some goals as well, but you look at what they've done. They've scored 8 against Nashville. They scored 6 against Columbus. They scored 5 against the Rangers in a loss. They gave up 8 in that one, but they've won hockey games. The Canucks in the second half of the back-to-back, we've seen the Canucks 1 win in their last 4 hockey games. Too much to pass up here. Arrested in the spot. Should be Ingram getting the start with the Coyotes in this one, and he's serviceable enough. Kind of like the over 6 as well. I think that's a little light. I think we see some goals in this one. Both goalies going to give up some goals. I think we got 4-3, 5-3. Either way, the Coyotes get the job done in this one tonight for us.
All right, Rod on the Coyotes here. Plus 124 against the Canucks there. Hitting the witching hour, Rod. So let's take a look over at Pick Dog Stream for tonight's action. Rod having a good baseball season. Of course, handful of baseball on the board. We got 5 on the ice. Also 9 games NBA. What do you have going over at Pick Dog Stream?
And over Pip Dogs Premium, you know what? I wasn't in love with the card. I got one play. My 10-star play of the day still available. It's runs in about an hour and a bit. A little later game on the ice, so definitely check that out. It's my top play of the over in the premiums. Tomorrow, I like tomorrow's action. Definitely way better. So now's the time to jump on something long term. Join me for the next week coming up. You'll get MLB, as you see, off to a nice start there. I passed on today's MLB, but like tomorrow's card, much better. Definitely have some MLB plays. Definitely got some NHL plays. We'll have some NBA plays going as well. And then, of course, we got the Final Four as well right around the corner. So join for a week. Use that promo code PICK at checkout, and we'll continue to crush the books.
Crush the books, guys. Get signed up. Use promo code PICK. Save that 15% off. You know, Rod, I was telling everybody, they're telling me the Kings were not going to make the playoffs. And lo and behold, look what they've done. They've just went on a losing streak, and they're barely hanging on by dear life in that final wild card spot.
And just hanging on to that final wild card spot of them Kings, right? But you look. They've got some games coming up that they're winnable. They've been like this is what's been happening. They're on a slump. It's kind of like you get good Kings, bad Kings.
Yep.
I thought for sure they would beat Calgary the other night. No.
Then the Jets. Nope.
The Jets. They looked good in the Jets. They kept getting up by one, and the Jets finally said, "No, that's it," and got the win. I thought for sure they had it in that one against the Jets.
They got a winnable one tonight against the Kraken. That is winnable, but nothing. Nothing would surprise me.
I think they got it tonight against the Kraken. They must. This is one of those must-win games, and against Seattle, who looks like Seattle hasn't looked good. Maybe lately, they're getting a little better, but no, I don't. No Seattle.
Yeah, we'll see how it rolls.
The Kings are in a must-win, and if they don't win this one, it's almost then you might as well put that fork in them.
Because the Wild is catching them. The Wild is going to catch them. Keep an eye on that Wild. It's a close.
I don't know. The Wild and their shenanigans. You look at the Wild, what they did in overtime the other night, and deciding whether we should pull the goalie and gave up 2 points. That was the point. If the Wild missed the playoffs by 1 point, you know how mad they're going to be?
Ooh, my goodness.
Because they had that 1 point.
Because
they easily had that 1 point in that game, and they decided to try to take advantage of the rule. You know why? Because they did it once, and it worked already this season. So then they decided that let's go try it again. Well, no, this time it didn't work. They gave up the 2 points.
If I was commissioner, Rod, a tie game would be 0 points for both sides. That's how I would rule it. But I'm not the commissioner. I'm not giving
right?
1 point. I don't have no problem with the overtime. Forget the shootout. I'll give you 5 minutes, but it's either 2 or
minutes,
nothing.
5 minutes, 3-on-3, and if nobody wins it on that 3-on-3, no shootout, no nothing, game over. Nobody gets any points.
0 for both sides. Zero for both sides. That's what I
0 both
see.
sides. I like that. That way, that 3-on-3 is a little more people might take advantage of that pull a goalie situation. Because hey, you're going to get 2 or none.
It's easier for the fans. It's easizer for the fans to figure this out. Because right now you make it so confusing for the fans, and it makes no sense to me.
I'm reading out their record, and the Canucks are 24-8-4-1, and someone's like, "What? What's he talking about?"
2 for a win, 0 for a loss, and 0 for a tie. That makes it so much easier.
0 for a tie. Yeah, I kind of like that. Yeah.
Way to win.
Keep the 5 minute 3-on-3.
Yep.
And then if nobody gets no shootout, nothing. 0.
Perfect. All right, Rod. Let everybody know about your video series. You're working hard on those videos up there with A to Z in the NHL.
Yeah, as the hockey's winding up, I think every day's got a loaded card. I haven't seen a light card coming, so definitely check it out. Like, subscribe, hit on that notification bell. That way you get notified when those videos drop. If there's ever a game you're looking for, even though the lowly games that are finishing up the season, I got you covered over at Big Dogs. They're archived. Check them out. Smaller card today, bigger card tomorrow. 9 games. Plus, I got the parlay back tomorrow, so those will drop shortly. Definitely head on over and check those out. We'll get back and win in that parlay as well. We dropped the last one, but hey, bounce back on to the next one.
Indeed. So get on board with Rod Zawacky over at Pick Dogs Premium. And, of course, like and subscribe for those videos. All right, Rod, have a great night. We'll catch up with you again on Steak Friday.
Yeah, you as well, Tony. Have yourself a good one. We'll catch everybody on Steak Friday. And little bonus in the game that I'm watching, Oilers versus Dallas. We're going to take my buddy Jamie Benn to get himself an anytime goal, and we'll take Leon Draisaitl of the other side. So one on each side. Leon gets one. Jamie Benn gets one.
Beautiful.
Should be a great game. Tune it in. If you want to see some hockey, check out Edmonton taking on Dallas tonight. Big game. Big game.
That's right. All right. Check
Take
it
the
out,
over.
guys. There you go. The over there from Rod with bonus plays. All right, Rod. Have yourself a great night. We'll catch up with you next. Let's go ahead and bring in. You got you as well.
You as well, Tony. Have a good one.
Got it. Let's bring in Dana Lane right now. Dana, what's happening?
Hey, Tony, you don't have to worry about the Los Angeles Kings. I mean, there's a red carpet to the postseason laid before them. They got basically they got the game against Minnesota, but man, they have the easiest schedule in the league coming up. So
nobody can make things. Nobody can make things harder than the Kings. No one.
Yeah.
No, they can easily do.
They got one game against Vancouver coming up, and then you got the Sharks and Blackhawks, Ducks, Flames. I mean, if you can't beat those teams, you don't deserve to be in. But, Tony, I do think that they will be in the postseason. It's amazing. I remember talking to you, and we'll get to my game in a second, but I remember talking to you early in the season and just saying, wow, I just don't know about that goaltending. And what are they, fourth in the NHL in goals against? I mean, it's statistically speaking, they've done really well. The part where they really buried themselves was their inability to win at home early in the season.
Oh, yeah.
Other than that, man, they would be deep. They would be easily in the postseason right now.
That's no doubt. That before we get the game, Daniel, hitting the witching hour. So let's everybody know what you got going over at Picklock. We have a really good NBA season. We got NBA tipping off in about 5 minutes.
Yeah, 3 games in the NBA coming up. I'm involved in that Wizards game tonight. What a shocking win last night against Milwaukee. I don't think anybody anticipated that. And I also have 2 other games that are up there as well. So the NBA 3-pack is locked and loaded. You can get that for $39.99. Of course, that comes with our win guarantee. And the NBA has been absolutely fantastic. And looking forward to tonight's card as well.
That's right, guys. Get over with Dana Lane over at Pick Dodge. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout. We'll save you that 15% off. Get those long-term passes, seasonal passes up there. Dana has a lot on the board there, so get on board. Use the promo code PICK. Save that 15% off. All right, Dan, we're going to take your game. One of the really good games tonight here on the board here as we'll transition over to the game here. Looks like you're going to be looking at that Oilers-Stars game. We're going to go ahead and move the chains. This was Rod's game. So move over to Oilers and Stars here. We see the Stars are going to be favorites in this one.
Yeah, I had to apologize. Internally, I apologized to Rod after I sent it because I was thinking to myself, I'm sure he wanted to get on that game. Forgot all about that, so I apologize to Rod on that. But we are going to go the opposite, I think, on the total, so that's kind of fun once in a while. And like you said, every game on the NHL card from now to the postseason has playoff implications, and of course this one is no different. The Oilers are going to send Calvin Pickard between the net tonight, which is interesting, with Stuart Skinner kind of having a little bit of a mini slump. But Pickard has really played well of late, and of course he's got that win against the Dallas Stars in February. So I think they're probably pretty comfortable with him in a net, and he's his goals against has been fantastic. His save percentage is really good over the last dozen games. Not great overall, 915 save percentage overall, but really good, up above 930 over the last 12 or 13 games. So I feel pretty good with him in that. And then, of course, across the ice for the Dallas Stars, I mean, a couple of weeks ago we talked about Jake Ottinger and how it just didn't look like he was, not his old self, didn't have his old form, and took some time off. And then when he came back, he was absolutely fantastic. He's allowed just 7 goals in his last 5 games. So we have 2 hot goaltenders. And as far as the teams are concerned, obviously we know both of these teams are a high-octane team. But when that is the case, a lot of times I like to go the opposite because we know that Jim Nill and Woodcroft are probably going to be focusing on both teams' offense. And that means not allowing a lot of room on the ice, making sure you cut down on spacing inside the zone. And I would be you're not going to shut these teams down for 60 minutes in their transition game, but I think a lot of the scoring tonight is going to come from greasy goals underneath in the low slot, quick passes inside the offensive zone. I'd be shocked if one team didn't come out amongst these two teams and come out and focus on defense. So I think you're going to see an under on that, and that's where we're going to go in this game tonight.
All right, Dana Lane here going to go under the total here. Under the total of Stars and Oilers under 6.5. That will be the play here from Dana Lane in this one. Yeah, looking at the Stars team, they have been pretty hot of late. Of course, the Oilers on their road trips, some of these road trips have not been winning ones for this Oilers team of late.
No, and man, what a shock the other night. I mean, the shocks just keep on coming here once in a while, but with the Oilers losing to the St. Louis Blues, I don't think anybody expected that. That was almost as big as the Columbus Blue Jackets' massive win the other night against the Colorado Avalanche. But it's really, again, we talk about the psychological aspect of things, and I think it's kind of a look ahead spot for Edmonton. I think they walked into that game thinking they were the better of the two teams with their bigger game coming tonight. So I give them a pass in that game. And I think both of these teams, you want to see playoff hockey in the regular season, you're definitely going to see it tonight. But Edmonton's in a they're in an interesting spot too, because we talk about teams that didn't play well early in the season, and that was certainly the Edmonton Oilers. Made a coaching change, and all of a sudden they flipped the switch. I think they're still better than Vancouver. I was at the Knights-Vancouver game last night, and Vancouver just looked like they were disinterested. But fact of the matter is the Edmonton Oilers can still catch the Vancouver Canucks. They have a couple of games in hand, and they're only 5 points behind. Regardless, they're both getting into postseason. Edmonton is the better of the two teams, but it is an interesting race to the top in the Pacific Division, because if Edmonton doesn't catch Vancouver, then they're going to have to start off against Vegas, and I don't think anybody wants to do that.
All right, we got Dana here on Stars Oilers under 6.5, and he had minus 120 on Stars. I was wondering, I wasn't wondering how that graphic. I was got him a parlay there, Dana.
Yeah,
why not?
Oh, is that what I said?
Man of the people out there. You sent out the premium pick, right? I know we do it sometimes. We got the premium pick by mistake.
Yeah. Well, I think it's going to be a tight game, and I do like Dallas to come out in this game, and I mean they're still in technically a three-team race in the top of their division. I think it's more of a two-team race right now, but I do like Dallas to ultimately win this game. But I think we're probably looking at an overtime game. I don't think you're going to have a big surprise like you had in the Vancouver-Vegas game last night, where Vegas just jumped all over Vancouver early. I think it's going to be a real tight checking game with not a lot of space on the ice, and that means an under, and that means Dallas is. I always would go with the home team in that situation, and I think Dallas has a little bit more to prove. I think Edmonton thinks that they are the better of the two teams, and probably are not in a great mood after the Blues game. And I certainly know, looking at betting patterns, that the public is all over Edmonton. So I feel more than safe with the Dallas Stars.
All right. I know we got some time here, so I'm going to bring up this subject with Dana Lane, because it's been a sore subject for the several years that I've done shows with Dana. And Pittsburgh just put it across the run here. But we can finally say something. I'm going to give you your first opportunity in 7 years here that I've been doing shows with you. Maybe it's been less than that, to say something positive about the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Well, I'm happy they're 5-0. I'm happy that they have been playing well. But the fact of the matter is, we really will never know exactly what we'll get with Pittsburgh until the weekend series against the Baltimore Orioles, and then we'll get kind of a barometer. And I know that they started off last year 20-8, so I try not to get too high. There is a sense about this team that they're a lot better than last year, but of course there are a couple injuries away from not being good. And I think you have guys, you have a really good bullpen now. And I talked about signing Chapman last year. I was really kind of scratching my head why you wouldn't go out and try to sign him, as the Kansas City Royals eventually did. And now he's a great setup man for David Bednar, and I hope Bednar's 100%. That's a question kind of going into this at the end of this series and into the Baltimore series. But hey, really, Tony, I don't even think they played their best baseball yet. I mean, Kutch is still sitting on 299, and I think he's ready. If Kutch Kutch is around that 260 mark. I think they'll be very happy with the production out of him, but it's a really good mix of players. And I heard somebody today talk about this team, and they call them just a bunch of baseball players. And I think that's so simplistic, but really encapsulates who they are as a team. They're never out of it, and we saw that against the Miami Marlins. But again, we're really not going to know what we have until we get into the series against Baltimore.
2 across in the second for the Pirates, up 2-0, heading to the bottom of the second there. All right.
All right.
Up there, Oilers under 6.5 and the Stars. All right, Dana, let everybody know about your video series over at Pick Dogs, of course, against the public betting.
Yep, against the public goes up every night as early as I possibly could get it up. We appreciate everybody that has been a loyal viewer to the video series, and try to switch it around, give 3 free plays every single day. Try to switch it around so everybody gets a little bit of something, but hard to avoid the NBA and college basketball over the last couple months, but we'll try to infiltrate some baseball in there now too, as you get more accustomed and acclimated to different pitchers and how teams are going to perform this year. But yep, it's been fantastic. I've had a great time doing it, and I appreciate all the people that's been involved and leaves nice comments.
That's right, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit those notifications, so when Dana drops this against the public video series, you get it right away, and that's when you definitely want to catch. All right, Dana, it's always great having you on the show. Have continued success, and we'll catch up with you again next week.
All right, Tony, all the best. I hope you have a great week.
As well. Dana Lane here on the drive-thru. All right, guys, we'll get to the recap in just a second here. Just want to recap the chat pick of the day. It looks like it's definitely going to be the Cleveland Cavaliers 10-3 over the Suns here. So chat pick of the day today will be on the Cavaliers plus 5.5. Chat has been doing well. We had 2 overs and 2 unders, 3 on the Suns, but 10 here on the Cavaliers. They are your chat pick of the day for tonight. All right, let's continue on. You look like the Nationals got 1 across here in a home run. 2-1 now, Pittsburgh. All right, let's get to the recap. The plays from today's show. And then, of course, this is the time for you guys to go ahead and put your best bets into the chat, and we'll read them off at the end of the show. Put your show pick of the day into the chat right now. All right, let's go here to our recap. And the recap today we'll have Chris on the Pelicans laying the 4 against Magic. Mitch was on Rockies plus 164 against Cubs. McMordie, Raptors plus 16.5 against T-Wolves. Matt was on the Hawks, laying the 12 against Pistons. And Wayne was Lakers, laying the 12.5 against Wizards. Rod on Coyotes plus 124 against Canucks. Dana on Stars Oilers under 6.5. I'll be on the Nets plus 7 against the Pacers. The one I like the most here. It's a good question. Which one do I like the most here on this one here? I will look at Hawks with Matt. Hawks over the Pistons. Hawks are playing more efficient now, so I'll look at that spot. No doubt about that. Hawks with Matt. All right, that's going to do it for this edition here of the Drive-Thru, guys. Make sure you put in your show pick of the day right now into the chat so I can read it off. Get your show pick into the chat. That's going to do it for this edition of the Drive-Thru until I get my pick, right? You guys, right? I got to get my pick in there for you guys. All right, we are going to be on the Nets here, plus the 7. This one, what it really comes down to it is the Nets. Let me re-look at my notes here because I'm already looking at tomorrow's card. But Brooklyn at home since the All-Star break has been a very efficient team. 117 points per 100 possessions, a plus 4.5 net rating. We look at the Indiana Pacers on the road, a plus 2 net rating since the break. And the issue with the the issue with the Pacers is their defense. They give up over 50% shooting here on the road. So it's just hard to lay points with them, especially more than 2 possessions. So we will go ahead and take the Nets plus the 7 here against the Pacers. So that's going to be the play, guys. Check out Pick Dog Premium. I got a best bet on the board tonight from the NBA as well. Single plays well from the NBA as well. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout will save you 15% off. Remember what we've got here with our multi-capper promotion. Add multiple cappers, even greater value there. Of course, long-term pass will serve you well. $30 sports pass. Get all my premium plays for that time period. Select me. Go to my handicapper page. Make that purchase. Promo code PICK at checkout. All right, get your best bets in there, guys. We are going to go ahead and read them off in just a second. This will do it for this edition here of the Drive-Thru. Make sure you tune in again tomorrow live at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll do it all over again. We'll bring in our cappers from Pick Dog Sports Chats. We'll get off the place for you in real time. Remember to always get started with that morning show. We are live here, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. We got Mitch, we got Chris, we got Jay with that morning show. We also have Mitch's 7 picks in 5 minutes. The Betting Tool Show is roundtable discussions with the professionals. Also, Jay's Jam Session NBA. Chris goes around the league from the NHL. Also, Ron Zawacky, A to Z coverage in the NHL, every game on the board, as well as a parlay. And of course, big on McMordie with his all access plays. We just heard Dana Lane against the public betting with you. Wayne with his boxing series. Ron Romanelli, bank shot breakdown, college hoops. We've got these parlay prop videos here from Brad as well as Javon. Of course, Brad now coming in with the Nerfies. Yerfies Mills, his UFC rundown and his prop shop, just to name a few here, guys. Of course, Costi with his sharp train plays. Guys, make sure you like, subscribe, set those notifications. Get these videos when they're dropped. Get the best numbers. All right, guys, let's go ahead and read your show pick of the day. We got Fernando likes the Pelicans and Lakers are the two for him. Also, Ramon here will take the Lakers with Wayne. Also, your best bets coming in with Blake with the Dodgers run line, Blue Jays money line. Chris White Thunder, Blue Jays money line plus 135 is his play tonight. New Jersey money line for Dion Mann. Hawks laying the 12 for Bo Dunn. Let's see what else we have here. Any other show plays before we sign off here? This is your last chance to get your show picks into the chat. We've got Dion Mann here with the Giants money line tonight. All right, that's going to do it, guys. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Colorado money line as well for Dion as well with his pick. All right, that'll do it, guys. Let's bring in our cappers from night. And away, goodbye, guys. You guys have a great afternoon, evening. We'll catch up with you again.